What's going on, love? Welcome to your collective message of the day. For those of you who are new here, my name is Shani. This is Melanated Mindfulness Tarot. I upload daily collective messages throughout the week. When or as the opportunity presents itself, I will also be uploading messages for each zodiac sign and posting what I like to call collective conversations. Excuse me. If you are not yet subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. It will be greatly appreciated. Again, these messages are healing messages, confirmation messages, messages to help you get into alignment, recognize and realize the steps that you need to take from a different perspective or a different point of view. If you're interested in booking a session or a service with me, if you're interested in following me on any other platforms, make sure that you check out the description area because all of that information will be there, okay? Now let's get into this message one time. All thanks and praise to the Most High. Angels, ancestors, spirit guides. You know our hearts and our situations. Can you please give us the cards that we need in order for us to be able to receive the message at hand with an open mind and an open heart? Excuse me. I don't know what's going on with my throat, but let's go ahead and get it together, okay? Let's go ahead and get it together. We ask that you clear out anything standing in the way of our clarity, confirmation, transformation, and healing so that we can transform into the highest versions of ourselves. Ashe. Stop there and take 6. Understood? Okay. Normally I don't pull the cards. I let them fall out, but today they said stop in the shuffle where I was shuffling and take 6, so I did that. Underneath it all, okay? This is the Chariot. So this is talking about moving forward, like overcoming certain things. And we're going to see what it's talking about. If we need to clarify anything, then we will. However, let's get into the message that's on the table, okay? First card up is the Empress. So listen, I do feel as though you're figuring out, you're aligning with, you're understanding what you need to do in order for you to start taking care of yourself, right? Nurturing yourself. You know that you can't pour from an empty cup. So you need to make sure that you are in a position, a space, a place where you are taking care of yourself, how you try to show up and take care of other people, right? Once you're taking care of yourself in this particular way, the things that you do for others is not going to seem like so forced. You know what I mean? You know how you probably be doing things for people who are showing up, whether it's for your family, like your kids, whether it's for your friends, whether it's at work, and then you feel underappreciated because it's like, damn, I'm pouring out so much of me and I'm getting so little in return. Well, how you overcome things like that is for you to start pouring into yourself, right? You pour into yourself, so therefore when you start giving out or giving people the energy, the love, the nurturing and things like that, you won't feel like you're having to do too much. You understand where I'm coming from? You'll actually be like, okay, like I can, like it comes easy to me, it's not forced. I'm not draining myself. I'm not taking so much of myself trying to give to and or for other people, right? I also feel like with the Queen of Swords being here, it's like this is that exhausted energy I'm talking about, right? This energy is, how can I describe it? This card shows up as the energy of like being burnt out damn near, because you're thinking that you have to show up and you have to do for people what you want done for you in order for you to get it in return. However, I want you to realize, recognize, understand, overstand, right? That you have to show up for you first. You're not obligated to do all these things that you think that you're supposed to do because society has set a certain standard, or your upbringing, your family, your friends, they hold you to this certain standard. So now you're moving in a way that you're doing what's expected of you instead of doing what you actually want to do, right? The mind is a tricky thing. So you really want to put yourself in a position for you to control your mind instead of you allowing your mind to control you. These are all of the thoughts that's pulling you every which way, okay? You see them? These are the thoughts that's pulling you every which way. But if you really pay attention to the illustrations of this card, you got options to get rid of this shit down here, right? You can either let these thoughts go, just let them go, or you can cut them off with more high vibrational thoughts. This is a sword up here as well. This is the sword, and it's above your head at this point. You have the ability to cut off these, whether they're negative thought processes or these self-sabotaging things, whatever it is, as you're allowing them to pull you in a way that does not seem to be working for you, right? And again, a lot of it may come from your upbringing. So this is where unlearning and relearning becomes very important, because we have been given certain information and it may have worked right for them back then, but times are always changing. Stuff is always happening. You understand where I'm coming from? So what worked for anybody back then or in the past may not be what's going to work for you today. You have to decide what that is for yourself. You have to show up and show out for yourself. This is where you have to educate yourself instead of just being so willing to take the information that somebody has given you. You can listen, right? Excuse me. You can listen to the things that they say. You can try to implement them. You can take whatever the information is that's being presented to you and you can tweak it, and it's okay. You understand that? You are the creator of your reality. Well, the co-creator. Let me say it like that. You are the co-creator of your reality, and you have to realize and recognize what it is that you need to create for yourself. Okay? Instead of being so caught up with, again, what somebody else is telling you you're supposed to do as a person or as a parent or as a friend or as a girlfriend or a wife or whatever it is. Listen, okay? When it comes to the way that you feel, this is a you thing. Other people don't really control how you feel. So when you feel, dang, I'm gonna need y'all to start speaking up, because my throat, it wasn't doing this before I got up on here. So I'm gonna need you to start speaking up, start having some type of healthy communication instead of, bottling up all this energy and then not paying attention to, why certain things are actually happening in your life. The Five of Cups is showing up, and the Five of Cups is letting you know, like, the disappointment that you feel, right? Again, whether it's you feeling underappreciated, you not being loved enough, you not being able to do the things that you need and or want to do for yourself. You just have to start putting yourself first. Like, there is nothing wrong with that. And people may not agree with what I'm about to say next, but even before your children, how can you show up and be the best version of yourself for somebody else when you're not showing up and being that best version of yourself to yourself, for yourself? You understand where I'm coming from? When it comes to your emotions, it comes from the way that you process certain information. So when you feel triggered at any point in time, start doing yourself a favor and like reflecting, right? Like, figure out, why is this emotion present? Like, why do I feel disappointed? You know what I'm saying? And just start really being honest with yourself on what it is that you need to do. When I'm saying what it is that you need to do, most times you got people that be trying to move in a way to control somebody else, right? Accept the fact that you can't control how somebody else reacts or responds or what they do. And that's where you are in control of when it comes to yourself, right? You're in control of that when it comes to yourself. You don't have to, for one, meet a person where you feel like they have you fucked up at. And I understand you be like, I'm trying to get my point across. I'm trying to make it make sense. I'm trying to get them to understand. Well, when you start to move a different type of way, then they're going to get it. They're going to see it, right? Because how their brain works is not going to be the same way as your brain works, So you're doing certain things and you're expecting them to see it, or you're expecting them to get with your program. Well, it's like, well, you don't even know what your program is, right? So once you start creating your own program and you getting with your own program and you following by what you stand on, and it don't have to come from an aggressive place either. It comes from a place of being nurturing, again, to yourself before anything or anybody else, right? So pay attention, especially when these things start popping up, okay? Like, these is the toxic habits and the vices and stuff like that. You got to really recognize what type of energy you associate yourself with. Whether it is, again, the people that you're surrounding yourself with, the things that you're doing on a day-to-day basis. You just want to become really, really mindful of you, right? Awareness is really the key. Awareness is going to always be the key. You have to get to know yourself. You have to understand yourself. You have to tap into yourself in order for all of this shit to start making sense. I know that, you know, you may be in a position to where you feel like, damn, I'm getting fed up, right? So if that's the case, then you got to do something about that. You have to do something about that. And it's not as complicated as you may think it is, right? It's, again, you allowing these thoughts to pull you every which way, where it's like, well, shit, I can't move like this because this gonna happen. But how do you know that this is gonna happen if you haven't done it? You know what I'm saying? You have to try new things. You have to be willing to expand. You have to be willing to elevate. You have to be willing to evolve. And in the midst of that, you're going to experience some challenging situations or experiences, circumstances, whatever. You're going to experience it because you've been operating in what you know for so long. So you keep on trying to do that because that's what you know. But if it's not producing the results that you actually want to experience, then you have to recognize or accept the fact that something needs to be adjusted. Something needs to be tweaked, right? Even if it's just a part of it. You don't have to go all the way back to the drawing board. You just got to get creative in the space that you're in and realize, like, okay, this is not working for me. So moving forward, I need to try something different. Let me start reaching out to people. Let me read some new books. Let me watch some YouTubes on how to communicate. Let me watch on some YouTubes on how to control my emotions, or whatever it is that you need to do. You feel me? Just make sure that that's something that you're doing. Is there anything that needs to be clarified? The Prince of Swords is going to be clarified. And I think there's 5 of Cups in it. We'll get up out of here. Ain't going to keep y'all too long. Ain't going to keep you too long. Spirit, can we have the cards that we need in order for us to clarify the Prince of Swords? Listen, and don't forget that underneath it all, the Chariot showed up. The Chariot was telling you, like, okay, we about to overcome this. Like, this is triumph, right? Like, this... Troubles don't last always. Nothing ever stays the same. We be trying to make it stay the same, and that's where the complications be actually rising. Here, can we have the cards to clarify the Prince of Swords? The first card out clarifying the Prince of Swords, and I'm gonna see if they want to give us 2 more, is the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is the first card clarifying the Prince of Swords. So that's talking about, listen, when something is ending, let it end. You ain't got to think like, oh, I'm not worthy or I did something wrong. Some reasons and seasons, right? Accept that as well. Reasons and seasons. And when everything that starts, anything that has a beginning has some type of an ending. And sometimes you don't agree with how it has to end. But if it needs to end, it needs to end, and it's going to end in the best way that it can in that moment, right? The next card out is the Four of Cups, which is talking about you playing with your own emotions. Oh, it's both cards up in here. Hold on. So we got the Four of Wands, we have the Three of Cups, and then we have the Four of Cups. So again, letting those situations end so that you can actually start aligning yourself with everything that you desire to have. A lot of times people do be trying to hold on to situations that they're saying, I'm done here. The situation be showing you, proving, telling you, I'm done here, right? And you're so emotionally attached to the expected outcome in the sense that you are allowing yourself to settle basically, because that you know that you deserve and desire to have so much more than what you've been receiving. So again, going back into that Four of Cups, telling you to stop playing with your own emotions. You know what it is that you desire to have. You know what it is that you want. So allow it to come to you. Allow it to come to you. Put yourself in a position to like start going with the flow. For real and not for play. Spirit, can we have the cards that we need to clarify the Five of Cups, please? One came out. What's that? What's that? What's that? The Princess of Discs. So the Princess of Discs is calling you and telling you to focus more on the present, not the past, not the future, right? You can have a glimpse of the future so that you can know what it is that you need to do to align yourself with the actions that need to be taken in order for you to get to that position that you want to get to. But focus on what's happening now. Like, pay attention. Excuse me. Pay attention to what's happening, like, right now. And do what you need to do in order to fix this current situation, right? That's why situations be going on for so long. Because instead of us focusing on what's happening now and the solutions that we can tap into or align with, we be somewhere else. We be so far gone in our mind space that we're dismissing what's actually happening in front of us and what needs to be corrected in front of us type shit. You understand where I'm coming from? They're telling you to use your common sense. Like, use common sense. Like, it's not rocket science, and it don't take a rocket scientist for you to figure out what it is that you actually want. I really want you to get clear on what it is that you want, not from other people, right? I want you to get clear on what it is that you want out of life for yourself. Get clear on what you desire to have, because you may be around here calling in things and you not even recognizing that you calling in these things. Like, and how can I describe that? It's more so like you're asking for on the surface type of shit, right? Oh, I want to be in a relationship. And then you get the relationship, but it's not a healthy relationship. So it's like, damn, I asked for a relationship, but I wasn't asking for this one. Well, yeah, you weren't clear on what type of relationship you actually wanted. So at any time, you're always going to be attracting the things and the people that are meant to help you elevate and evolve into the position to where you can actually operate as like the best version of yourself. And right now, you are the best version of yourself for where you are right now. But that's not the end all be all, because there's always room for growth. So put yourself in a position to start overcoming anything that you feel is holding you back or keeping you from living the life that you desire to live. Be honest with yourself, get clear on what it is that you want, and then we can move forward from there. All right? Underneath it all in the clarification deck, there is the Aeon. So this is talking about decisions needing to be made. Decisions to stop like going back and forth with yourself. And again, look, here is this the nine of discs. So it's talking about what you're attracting to yourself. And yeah, you may be attracting some shit that you ain't really satisfied with in this moment. But only you can transmute that energy. Only you can change that. So do with this message of the day what you will. I definitely hope it brought some type of clarity, confirmation, transformation, healing, and things of that nature. And until next time, love, make sure you enjoy yourself. Peace.